Hello everyone, I'm Overhaul and today we'll be reviewing My Hero Academia chapter 242, Merry Christmas. It's not that far off. I mean, sure, they're like, what, 3 months until Christmas time in our timeline? Who cares? Now anyways, let's get into this chapter. Now we start this chapter off with the teachers meeting. And after some enjoyment of midnight, because look at her, she's a bomb shell, we find out some information about these internships. It turns out that internships during this time period are really weird. I don't know if that was confirmed before, but it is in this chapter. It's specifically stated. And they also explain why they think that this is happening. And the reason is because the whole event in the Daika city, there might be something happening and they might need more manpower, even though this generation apparently has the biggest amount of heroes. So yeah, that's what they are basically saying to us here. Now they also theorize this might be something to do with the league, because, you kind of need to consider all of the options. Also, by the way, there's a little joke with Principal Nazo being in Aizawa's scarf, and he says, "I think we have chairs," and Nazo's like, "But this is warmer." So yeah, they're going for the options, and basically they agree with it. They just say, "All right, we go tell this to the other students." And there's also some allusion to something new. I think it's a kind of event or training, but I don't exactly remember it. In fact, it isn't even completely stated. It just said Nezu has something talks with Aizawa, and then it cuts away. I wonder if that's because of the translation errors, or if that is going to be something big. Next, we cut to Nezu talking to All Might and All Might's detective friend. Basically, the gist of it is that the traitor thing that hasn't been talked about in, like, I believe 100 chapters, if not over 100 chapters, it's finally mentioned. And here's the general gist of it. All Might and the detective decide to say, considering there was no suspicious activity, that this means that there is no traitor amongst the students. Now, All Might says that all of his students are pure of heart. And then Nezu is like, yeah, true, but that depends on the next action the League of Villains do. Because you kind of need to think about it. Sure, there hasn't been any actions by the traitor as of late, but there hasn't been major acts that would require a traitor. Because let me think about it. Since the time they decided there must be a traitor in their midst, since that time, there has been no real action taken by the League of Villains that would require a traitor. Like, the whole Toga and Twice's joining the Yakuza. That didn't require a traitor. In fact, there was a surprise to see them as they should be. Then the next time was during the attack on the city with the higher normal. That didn't require a traitor. That didn't even require anyone. What that required was a powerful pro hero and Dobby to send out to test it. And the final event was Daika City, which, although they do seem to be suspicious and thinking it could be Daika City, and the League of Villains have some kind of connection, they don't exactly know what. But again, they now require a traitor. So right now, Nezu's like, alright, so far there's no traitor, but let's wait until the next action. But I feel like there is most likely a traitor, because, let's be honest to us, I think her coach just, didn't want to focus on it right away. Right. But I will be talking about the traitor thing a little bit later. So yeah, now that these internships are starting, I am wondering if Shinso will join these internships this time. Well, I'm not talking about like any big way. In fact, I don't think I think they're even going to have to wait some time before they are going to have him going to the hero course. But I am wondering if like he will be sent out as a package deal to an agency. Like let's say AdShot gets, let's say Ida and they're gonna be like, oh, by the way, AdShot, you're also going to get Shinso. He hasn't been put into the hero course as of late, but since you kind of requested a bunch of heroes, we decided to give Shinso as a package deal. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the case. Maybe it's going to be mentioned later or something. So yeah. Now we had this part with Nezu telling All Might that it's Christmas. Awesome fan art, by the way. I'll link the guy in the description later. But yeah, this. So yeah, we have a Merry Christmas in amongst the UA. Well, in all of the in classes. So yeah, this is basically supposed to, I'm assuming, again trying to make it lighter because of the last arc, but it's good. I also love Jiro in this part. Like Jiro is the best character in this chapter, but because it's the fact she's my favorite character, I'm paying bias to her. So yeah, we have little basic talking, and we also have the kind of mention the internships because they are aware of it right now. So the students talk, and we have like a little interaction between the girls, like, Momo, you've been standing all the time, do you want to sit? And the one that we really need to take a note of, and the one I was alluding to before, is that Jiro asks, oh, you and Tsu are going to go back to Ryuku? And Ochako was like, yeah, we are. What about you, Jiro? Now, this probably isn't mean much, but I am wondering if there's a possibility that Jiro will get some kind of involvement in this arc. Like, I'm not talking anything major. In fact, it could not very well be this arc. It could just be this arc is going to be focusing on Shoto, Bakugo, and Izuku, and in the next arc we have Jiro's internship. I mean, it's always possible. I mean, it isn't like, in fact, that would be a perfect way to demonstrate that what they're talking about is true. Like, they mentioned that there's rise of villain organizations. Here's an idea. Have 2 arcs, or 3 arcs, in which we separate the students, and we have them do stuff. So, for example, have, like, let's say, Jiro, Ida, and Kaminari, or have Jiro and someone from Class 1B, and from some other schools, teaming up, be in the hero agencies, then those agencies teaming up to take down a villain organization. That's at all possible. Now, I would like to note another thing is the fact that the Paranormal Liberation Fund also has some heroes working under them. Like, we don't know how many, but I'm pretty sure that all the heroes that worked with the Liberation Army are with the Paranormal Liberation Fund. Because I don't believe any of them were killed. Because all of them were keeping the people outside, so they weren't in the thick of action. So heroes like Sly and Go and the other ones that we saw, I think we saw at least 2, should theoretically still be a thing. So if Jiro, for example, was working in an internship with one of those guys, because we all know she was working with Death Arms, I don't believe it was ever confirmed that she worked with anyone else in the other one after she got her provisional license, or how she could have literally been sent to anyone else. I mean, it's mentioned later that if you don't have anyone anywhere to go, the school would deal with that. So that's that. So I am again wondering if there's going to be something. Plus, I feel like Jiro does need an arc in which she's more focused on the fighting, because her arc was less about her fighting and more about, just her sinning, and then the Class 1A versus Class 1B fight just had her use her hearing quirk and then use one new attack and nothing else. So I would like to know what exactly is her combat. But powerless. And how that could actually be used as to confirm who the traitor is, if you think about it. Like, let's say she works for a guy who is a member of the Paranormal Liberation Fund, they say it's some kind of a, they're going to some kind of a area that they are investigating, and then she there gets captured or gets knocked out or something but just gets captured by the Paranormal Liberation Fund, and then Toma makes her join, and so he uses it to reveal a traitor or something. That's possible. No, yeah, this is all what I want, but it's probably not going to be the case. It's probably just some kind of a banter between the characters. So yeah, we then get Izuku being asked where are you going to go, because Sanaya is kind of that right now, and Kyoshiro says, "Oh, you're gonna go back to the agency because a centipede of Septempire or whatever his name is, the centipede guy from the Nine Eyes agency, is now in charge of the place." But he says that he can't go there because Bubblegirl and Centipede are kind of busy right now. Because remember, they are kind of new to this whole being the heroes, like their sidekicks before. And although I do believe Centipede is qualified to be a hero, he hasn't done much, but he's most likely is. He doesn't seem to be on the weaker side or anything. They're kind of getting used to this whole thing, because they explained Sanaya was running everything. So yeah, that's how the things are going right now. So then we have little comedy between Mina and Kaminai trying to dress Bakugo into Christmas clothing, and he kind of refuses it, and they're asking, "Oh, what about you and the best gymnast?" And Bakugo states that he doesn't know. And then we get a little flashback when Best Gymnast was doing his hair, and he was asking her about his hair name, and all of them were basically like King Explosion Murder, Lord Explosion Murder, Explosion Murder. And Beshi is kind of like, "Are you sure you're a high school student?" Because, murder is kind of the title. And he tells him that the names are kind of a symbol of a hero, or a wish of a hero. So second year when you come back, tell me your hero name. Because at that point he feels like he should find out what would be the perfect name for him. So yeah. No, Minato brings out the thing, why are we discussing school stuff? We should start doing, Christmas activities, and we have like Sato bring them a turkey, I believe. And then Eri knocks on the door, and they go check, and yeah. Aizawa dressed Eri in a Christmas clothing, and they're going to celebrate Christmas with them because, well, this is technically her first Christmas with people that actually, celebrate Christmas. So he wanted to have her celebrate. And she's kind of confused because I'm assuming that she was so far only told about the holidays. So she really doesn't know the difference between Halloween and Christmas. In fact, Halloween she probably skipped because I'm pretty sure because it hasn't celebrated Halloween. So she celebrated trick or treat, but he then tells her about, "Now you mixed them up," and it's basically adorable as all hell. And Izuku also asks, "Will Mirio be coming?" But now he's celebrating with his other class, which makes sense. I mean, it makes sense why he will be celebrating with his class, even if he wants to celebrate with Eri. So yeah, we get a little partying, like we have some gift exchange, little comedy with like Eri ended up with a giant sword. Basically with that, and then we have the students, taking everything down and, clean everything up. And Shoto comes to Bakugo and Izuku, and he's like, "Hey, since you two have nowhere to go, you two could go with me to Endeavor's agency," which is true. I mean, the school only needs to find a place for them to go sent. So if Shoto's like, "Oh, don't worry, they're coming with me to Endeavor's," they really have no reason to complain. In fact, they even stated previously that they are going to talk to some top heroes to send the students there, for their safety and experience points. So yeah, they're basically so that's what he offers them. Now the next chapter will most likely have them react to it because this is a big deal. Like Endeavor's going number 1. I mean, Best Genius was number 4 when Baku went there and Izuku went to Gran Torino and Sonara, who are probably not very popular. So he's going to the number 1 right now, which is exciting. And Endeavor will most likely accept it. I feel like I don't think he's probably just going to be like just Shoto's gonna call him and Endeavor will be like, oh, you're asking me if 2 of your classmates Bakugo and Izuku will come? Sure, why not? So yeah, I'm assuming there's not going to be a big thing. I'm pretty sure that Endeavor's not going to be like super pissed or anything. Maybe he will be, but so far I feel like, well, if you want to take your friends, do you mind just say, alright. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be complaining too much. Which brings the thing up, now that they are going to go to the internships, Shoto could be practicing that move under Endeavor for better way to learn it, because there's only so much that Shoto's describing the move and sending it to Endeavor, and Endeavor sending him back how to do it is only one thing. I would also like to wonder if the Paranormal Liberation Fund in this arc will actually have kind of a similar role to what they kind of had in the Yakuza arc. Like, I'm not talking like, instead of just being there because of them kind of working together with the Yakuza, they're like against the main villain group in this arc, and then like Dabi and maybe some other members like Getten teaming up with Endeavor's agency to take down the main villain. And because I do want to see that, like, I do think Getten and Dabi should like get more interactions between the two, and Getten should fight during the winter. Like, it's the perfect time for Getten to fight and to have a major fight. So that would be good. And hell, considering that now that the Liberation Fund is going to have a more of a noble goal than before, when they were just going to go on destroying everything, it would make sense that, oh, Dabi, a guy who's been going on to murder people previously, has decided to come and help the heroes to take down the bigger threat, to save, let's say this new main villain holds a bunch of people prisoner to use their quirks as their bidding. I mean, that would be good. That's a good possibility. Now, anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. That's it. I cannot wait to see all of you people next time. Bye.